Governor Tina Kotek announced her re-election bid on Thursday. In her campaign announcement, the governor said, quote, "The choice is between a governor who will stand up for Oregon and protect what we believe in, or a governor who will let Donald Trump do whatever he wants." Governor Kotek sat down with me for an exclusive interview right after her announcement. Here's that interview. Governor Kotek, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Ken. Good to see you.
Well, your campaign video emphasizes how the state has battled the Trump administration on many fronts, including National Guard deployments, the interruption in SNAP benefits. Are you running against President Trump?
Well, I'm running for Oregon. And the reason I decided to run for re-election is I want to continue to work on those big challenges that are facing our state. Those things that I learned in my first campaign that I've been working on. We are making progress here, but there's more work to do. So I want to finish the job. And I want to stand up for Oregonians. I think the values that we hold here in our state are under threat by President Trump. This year has been very unique. I think we can all agree. We haven't seen some of the things that are happening not only in the country but in our state. The president wanting to put National Guard troops on our streets. We said no to that. You know, the fact that they would take away food benefits from Oregonians who really need to put food on the table and feed themselves. We fought back on that. This is a very different world than when I was first elected, and there is a choice here. Who is going to stand up for Oregonians? For me, I'm going to stand up, defend our values, and continue to work on the things that are the big problems that are in our way.
We've seen immigration detentions and arrests pick up in the state of Oregon. The president has targeted sanctuary cities and states, of which Portland is a sanctuary city, Oregon a sanctuary state. Where do you see this headed?
It's very alarming. I was just speaking with some folks earlier today. It's affecting businesses, it's affecting communities. People are scared. People are being disappeared by our own government in our state. And folks are terrified. Breadwinners being snatched away. Folks losing their housing because they can't go to work. Kids not going to school. What we're seeing around the state is Oregonians are very upset about this. It's not going to do anything for community safety. And it's really destroying communities. Here in Oregon, I believe, and I think a lot of Oregonians believe, that we want to have a state that's welcoming, that takes care of folks, and our immigrant and refugee communities are helping us thrive as a state, and they are under attack right now, and that is all because of the Trump administration.
What can we do about it from this end?
Well, we're doing everything we can at the moment, and I think we have to continue to be creative. It's been a pleasure for me to work with Attorney General Dan Rayfield. He and I see eye to eye on pushing back on the Trump administration. Local DAs are even saying it is unlawful, the violent way that immigration enforcement is being done in this state. That's not what people agree to. That's not what people like. They think it's unkind, mean, and unlawful. And we're going to keep pushing back on that in the courts. And we are a place that says local law enforcement is going to keep people safe. But what the federal officials are doing is not okay, and it is unlawful.
Oregon's economy is not doing well by a number of metrics right now. We lost 25,000 jobs this year. A recent CNBC study says that we're 39th in the country when it comes to overall business environment. You just announced a prosperity roadmap and a new chief prosperity officer. What will that do that's different from what we're doing right now?
Well, what I have seen in the state, particularly in the last year, what the Trump administration has brought with the tariffs and the uncertainty has really jumbled the economy, not only in Oregon, but across the country. And we're seeing those other challenges, you know, jobs are tightening up. We're seeing folks leaving the state. We have businesses who are not sure if they want to work here. That's got to be dealt with. And so with the Prosperity Council, what I have heard from businesses, hundreds of businesses across the state, is exactly what's in my roadmap. We have to streamline permitting. We have to help with workforce issues. We have to come together as a state with a strategic plan to deal with this.
It looks like the initiative to roll back the $4.3 billion transportation package that you pushed for in the legislature will make it to voters next November. Seems like they have all the signatures they need, still needs to be certified. Republicans are framing it as an affordability issue because of the increased taxes and fees. Are you worried that Oregonians will vote down that package? And if they do, what happens then?
Well, my focus right now is, first of all, since I took office, I believe in listening to Oregonians. As you recall, I have visited every county. I've been back out in the state over the last 3 years listening to folks. People are having a hard time making ends meet, so we have to pay attention to that. The other thing is we also need to pay for our transportation services. With this referral to the ballot, which I assume is going to happen, it will freeze all of the resources that were attached to the bill, to the law, that we're paying for the Oregon Department of Transportation. So we're going to have to solve that problem. So my job is to go back, talk to our legislators, Democrat and Republican alike, and say, how do we solve this? We have to have our roads paved, maintained. Winter season is happening. Regardless of what happens with the referral, we have to pay for things. And right now that referral will take all the money off the table, and we have to pay for basic operations and maintenance. So my job over the next couple of weeks is, let's come up with another solution. It's not going to be a great solution, but we need something to keep that agency running.
This might turn out to be a rematch, the election between you and now State Senator Christine Drazan, who you beat by just a few points in 2022, and that was with Bessie Johnson in the race, taking some votes from we still don't know who. This is what she said about your announcement. Tina is all talking and no results. What are your thoughts about her taking you on again?
Well, thanks for sharing that. I'm frankly spending every day trying to figure out how to solve problems like the safety of our roads and getting people to work and moving products on the roads. I haven't had a lot of time to think about who might be winning the Republican primary, because there will be a primary, and I'm focused on doing my job.
And Marion County Commissioner Daniel Bethel will be in the Republican primary against Christine Drazan, so we don't know if that's going to be a one-on-one match or not against her, but she would seem to be the front runner on the other side right now.
She could be. Here's what I would say, though. Next year, it's a really important choice for Oregonians. You have a choice of, voters are going to have a choice to vote for someone who's going to stand up with them, stand for them, fight for Oregon and the Oregon that we have created here and continue to build the state that we all love, or someone who's going to stand back and let Donald Trump do what he wants. I say that because not a single one of the folks who have said they want this job have said anything against what the president is doing. And the president is hurting Oregonians right now, taking away their health care, taking away their food benefits, scaring and disappearing our immigrant neighbors. This is happening today. And if you're going to be a governor in this context, in this world, you better have something to say about that.
You talked about homelessness. You declared a homeless state of emergency in 2023, focusing on housing production. However, in Multnomah County, we're seeing more homeless people on the streets now. Affordable housing is still not affordable to a lot of people in the state. Why can't we get our hands around this?
Well, what I've heard from folks when I talk about this, they say, hey, we understand that we didn't get here overnight, and it's not going to get fixed overnight. But what people also tell me is we have to have clear goals to solve this problem. So when I declared my emergency on homelessness 3 years ago now, we said we are going to build more shelters, rehouse Oregonians, and keep people from losing their home. Because of that work, we hit every one of those goals. More than 1,500 new shelter beds, 5,000 plus individuals rehoused who had moved from shelter into housing, more than 20,000 individuals being kept from becoming homeless because we have helped them with eviction prevention. Every progress point we make builds on more progress over time.
If you are reelected, what would be your number one priority in taking office?
Well, I think the priorities that I've already laid out, in addition to housing and homelessness, the number one affordability issue is people cannot afford the homes that they have. We need more affordable housing. That will lower the price. We got to build more housing. When it comes to our schools, I have fought for early literacy and summer learning and improving the outcomes for our students, as well as holding our school districts accountable. We have to continue that work so more students are able to read at grade level and can graduate with the skills that they need. And then when it comes to healthcare, we're going to fight back on the Trump administration when it comes to taking away Medicaid and make sure basic healthcare and mental health and addiction care is available. And the economy will be better, right? This prosperity roadmap is about taking Oregon from the middle of the pack to the top of the pack. We are going to lead on innovation and entrepreneurship, and we're going to invest in the businesses who want to be here and want to come here. The other day I was at Lam Research. They're, $60 million investment to build more semiconductor manufacturing capacity in Oregon. We have things that people want here. So we have to be open for business, we have to be creative, and we have to reduce the red tape that is, I think, hampering business expansion in the state.
Governor Tina Kotek, thank you for returning to Eye on Northwest Politics.
Thanks for having me.